You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to The Mountain Gardener, your host, Ken Lain, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. Can you believe we're just basically a few weeks away from spring. This is very exciting. I can't wait. It feels like spring is in the air. I mean, it's been warm. I'm not wearing as many layers, or I have to wear more layers and take them off quickly, getting down to your t-shirts or just one layer. That's kind of nice. Your plants are feeling the same thing. And so we've had several truckloads of plants come in. We need to fill the garden center up. We've got our 64th spring open house coming March 13th through the 15th. So where all of our growers come in, they showcase their flowers, the new fountains are in, the new colors of pottery is in. We're stocking up now. And the peony I've started, the very first, not all of them. We'll have a dozen varieties or more when it finally comes. But we are famous for our perennials, especially those that take a little longer to grow. So peonies are kind of like fruit trees. They need to be at least 3, 4, 5 years old before they're old enough, mature enough to bloom. And so most farmers are not going to hang on to a crop that long to finally sell them at a garden center, but we're catering to gardeners and they appreciate that. And so we'll have all the English varieties come in. So English peonies, they're already here. Or most of them. Some are already here. The Ito peonies, they're on their way. I think they'll be here next week. And so what's the difference? And how do you tell? So my peonies are already up out of the ground about a foot. They're a foot tall. So my Ito peonies. The English peonies, the eyes have just started. These little nodules coming up are just starting to break the garden surface. So they hibernate underground for the winter. So they've been hibernating since really November. And so now they're finally waking up. So it's 4 or 5 months later, they've rested, and now they're going to come back and just ignite with new growth. And so that is happening as we speak. I mean, you can watch them grow by the week. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's a beautiful plant. Even without flowers, it's a beautiful plant, like a fern. Only the bonus is the flowers, the fragrance. Here's what I'm doing with my peonies right now. So I've cut them back. So all that foliage left over from last year, that's all cut back. Right back to that. Actually, I did that a month ago before they started elongating. That's why they're going to town. But cut those things back. Now, here's an insider tip that my name's Ken. We're just friends. We're neighbors talking over the back fence. This works for me, and it seems to make a difference. So peonies tend to bloom right when the thrip and the aphids are out, and they love the taste and fragrance just like you do. They're attracted to them just like you are. And so once I cut back my peonies, I am going to fertilize them with a completely non-organic fertilizer. It's rose food with systemic. It actually works on peonies really well. I'll sprinkle the rose food with systemic on my peonies and my roses. When I'm done pruning them back, I fertilize them probably every other month with that kind of stuff. And here's why. If I don't do that, thrip love to get down inside the bud and they'll eat the flower from the inside out. So I've had this damage, and it's once they're inside the flower, they're very difficult to control. So I know they're coming. And so I know they're going to be a problem, and they'll cause my peony, which should bloom for 2-3 weeks, to 2 or 3 days if I don't do that. And so that's kind of something I can tell you. It's granular. You sprinkle it on top of the ground, you water it in, it releases, it fertilizes, makes great big flowers. But really what I'm after is the flower food plus systemic. The systemic piece inoculates or treats the entire plant from the inside out. And so the thrip can't get in there, and they're less prone to do as much damage. It's a game changer. Yes, you can spray it. You can do all kinds of drenches, all kinds of stuff. You can get really sophisticated, but I found that it's just too easy to prune them back, fertilize them with the rose food with systemic, and it it doubles my bloom, doubles the flower size, doubles the flower time, how long they bloom. It's a game changer. It's only because we get thrip here worse than other places. So that's something I can share with you. But it's time to plant peony. This is another insider tip I can give you for not all perennials. Some perennials, we have a large crop and there's rotations going through it. Peonies, we grow enough for the season, for the first part of the season, and then that's it. When they're out, they're out. We don't want to carry this big, expensive, we've been taking 5 years to grow. We purposely, it's such a long crop to grow. We had to guess how many to grow years ago, and we don't want to guess over. We only want to guess short. So we want to leave the markets short. So with that being said, know that and grab them while you can. Don't wait and think about and dig your hole and contemplate it. They'll be gone. I'm telling you, they'll be gone. The reason is they're a little more expensive and they take so much longer to grow. And so we don't want a whole bunch left over. Whereas echinacea, that's totally different. That crop grows, it takes about 2 years to grow an echinacea. It's a third the time of a peony. So we can guesstimate over echinaceas, gaillardias, coneflower. You can just go right down the line. Vinca is like a weed. It's just easy to keep it coming in. We don't mind having overages, but peonies are different. The other thing I can tell you is if you're new to, let's say, perennials. Let's say you're coming from Southern California, Phoenix, Palm Springs, these deserty, more tropical areas. Most perennials do like to hibernate underground. And so you kind of go, where was that thing? Then it starts popping back up. Because they're hiding underground so long, it's really easy to have them get overwatered, to get soggy. So it's really important to have drainage. You want a nice, loamy garden soil. That's what perennials really like, but especially the drought hardy ones. So peonies, they literally will grow. They will outlive you and I. I mean, they're the longest living perennial flower there is. So they'll easily get 50 years out of them. I just talked to a gentleman. He's had one variety, heirloom, he got from his grandmother. He's been dividing it, planting it, redoing it for over 50 years and just retired here. So that's what peony do. You pass them down for generations. They're going to outlive all of us. So that's a beauty as long as the soil drains. That's the secret. Peonies are generally a bigger plant. I don't know why I didn't mean to go this far deep into peonies, but they're here. So I'm thinking about it. And I was out enjoying my own garden. So what you get on the podcast or the radio show is top of mind. This gardener, whatever I'm doing, that's what you get. So I'm cleaning things up. I'm finishing pruning. I'll probably start next week pruning my roses. Again, I think it's early. Generally, I'll say, wait till March. Well, another week, it'll be the end of February. I'm getting anxious. I'm getting antsy. I just want to go do it. And so I'll probably start, and you can too. I'll let you know. Here's what I found. I found some bugs, or there's some disease I found, or here's how I'm fertilizer caring for them. Now that's what I'm sharing. So that's the peonies are done. I'm encouraging them to grow by fertilizing them with rose food with systemic, that secret. And then I'll do the same thing with my roses, next week. So I'll clean them up. I'll prune back most of the varieties back down to about knee height. All the hybrid teas, floribundas, grandifloras, ground covers, I'll prune them back to about knee level. And I'll spray them all with horticultural oil because I want to have them clean. I don't want any bugs or any eggs left over on those roses. And then I'll fertilize everything with rose food with systemic. And then I'll wait for the season. That'll just ignite them with new growth. You'll see. I mean, they will start blooming almost, 40 days after the day you prune them, they're in bloom. Full on bloom. You can almost count the days. It's this 40 to 45 days, they're in full bloom. That's kind of why you wait a little bit too for pruning back roses. So prune them back usually in March, and by the middle to the end of April, full bloom. They're just glorious. It's kind of fun to watch. I can't wait. I love flowers, and there's nothing easier at this elevation than a rose to grow. It's just so easy to grow compared to other parts of the country. Waters Garden companion plants of February are Calgary carpet juniper, lily of the valley, pinyon pines, and peony.
Your grandmother would fall in love with these larger peony with so many colors to choose from.
There's nothing like the enormous flowers to add stunning pops of color.
Endearing springtime blooms are more than fragrant with luscious double flowers.
Shop the most perennial peonies in Prescott by store or online at watersgardencenter.com. For a more fruitful garden, increase success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.